dramatic finish.
The World Poker Tour. The biggest games, the greatest players, and the largest payouts on the planet. The WPT is a series of international high-stakes poker tournaments that can turn amateur players into millionaires and make professionals into superstars. With millions of dollars on the line, it's time for these 6 players to live the dream of fame, fortune, and the one thing money can't buy, a WPT title. Tonight on the World Poker Tour.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the jewel of the Las Vegas Strip, Bellagio, where the final table of the big money Festa El Lago is about to get underway. I'm Mike Sexton, along with Vince Van Patten, and this is the WPT.
And Mike, Festa El Lago is Bellagio's magnificent poker party by the lake. It is fantastic. But last year, you know what? Someone crashed the party. It was the sensational Frenchman, Elke Grospallier. He crushed the field here, took the title, and then he went on to become the WPT Player of the Year.
I'm very glad and proud to be the WPT Player of the Year for the season 7.
Well, Vince, it was a powerful performance by Elke last season. No doubt about that. But this year, we've got 6 players with high hopes of their own of creating a little poker history. And tonight's chip leader, WPT champion Freddie Deeb, is ready to rewrite those record books. Gus Hansen currently has the most WPT titles, but if Freddie wins tonight, he will tie Gus's record of 3 wins.
That's right, Mike, but these things are always easier said than done. Now, if Freddie wants to make history, he's going to have to blast through tonight's field of very smart, aggressive players who are all looking to score their first big WPT win.
Big money, a prestigious title, and that coveted Tiffany's WPT Champions bracelet. They're all on the line at Bellagio tonight.
The poker party by the lake about to begin. Let's go watch them gamble.
So here we go, the final table of the Festa El Lago at Bellagio about to get underway. We started 4 days ago with 275 players. We are down to these 6. The winner tonight is going to take home over $1.2 million.
That's right, and as you can see, Freddie Deeb out in front. He's the chip leader at this point. The antes are 5,000, blinds are 40 and 80,000. Let's go to the table. Action on Tommy Vitas. He is from Queens, New York, living in Vegas now, full-time professional poker player. And he quickly folds his hand.
Around to the youngster, Jason Lavalley. He goes out.
Craig Cravillo also out. And now Freddie Deeb, the chip leader. He looks down at a pair of 5s. And by the way, it was confirmed that Freddie and actor Danny DeVito were separated at birth. We thought it was just a rumor before, but it's true.
Well, Freddie's got 2 5s here. He's an aggressive player. Going to raise on the button. Makes it $250,000 to go.
Yes, he does. Into the young 22-year-old Jason Burt from Newport Beach, California. And he's got ace-8.
Well, here's a graduate of Caltech. Majored in mechanical engineering, now a full-time poker player.
He's the short stack, and this is his first WPT event, Mike.
I'm all in.
And look at this. He says all in.
Wow, what a bold play by the youngster here on deal number 1 at this final table.
All right, next to act, Sean Kunix. He's an entrepreneur out of Columbus, Ohio. He folds his hand.
And he's sending a message to Freddie. You may be a 2-time WPT champ, but I'm here now, my friend.
And back around to Freddie. What a decision on hand number 1.
At best, Freddie knows it in a race situation, meaning his opponent's got 2 overcards, but in case his opponent has an overpair, Freddie would be a huge underdog here. So he's going to lay it down, but chalk that up to the aggressive play of Jason Burt. Well done there. He understands Freddie's an aggressive player. He's the chip leader, probably making a position raise on the button. Just moved in and picked up that pot beautifully.
Very nicely done. 22 years old. Jason Burt taking hand 1. Let's go to hand 2. Craig Cravillo, a former iron worker out of Milwaukee.
Pretty good hand.
And he's going to fold his hand. Back around to Freddie Deeb.
Oh, look at this, Vince. Freddie has picked up 2 queens. He just got burned with 2 5s when the guy came over the top. He's looking for somebody to come over the top of him here, I promise you. Comes in for $255,000.
Jason Burt folding, but Sean Kunix, he's got a pair of 8s.
Sean, the only non-professional poker player at the table. He's an entrepreneur. Lives in Columbus, Ohio, an Ohio State Buckeye, I might add.
There's his wife, Chris, sweating her man. Sean has 3 kids. Not a professional player, but he's going to make a professional call right there.
Made the call with 2 8s here. Tommy goes out.
Jason Lavalley from Montreal also going out.
So Freddie Deeb in great shape here with the overpair. 2 queens versus 2 8s. Here comes the flop. Let's come King 10-4. You're always leery when overcards come out there over your pair.
Yeah, Freddie checks. He's saying, why did that have to happen? Now look at that little ornament on the cards there.
Well, Vince, that's a soccer figurine that was on his son's birthday cake. He wants to prove to his son that you can do anything if you try. He said he could be on television playing poker. Here he is. Let's see if he can win this thing.
Well, look at this. He's bet $350,000 and Freddie's not folding.
Freddie's made the call with the 2 queens. Now 6 comes off.
No help to either player. Freddie again going to check. He's just worried that Sean might have the overpair. Has a king. Oh, it's a good poker face by the non-professional player.
Wow, and he fires again, this time 600,000.
Boldly bet. And look at Freddie. Patient. Says I call.
I'll tell you, it's not that easy of a call to make against an amateur player who fires twice when there's a king out there. Now an ace comes off. Neither player going to like that card. See what Freddie's going to do now. Well, he's going to check again. Sean checks right behind him. So the 2-time WPT champ is going to win this pot with 2 queens.
Oh, boy. Look at that look by Chris, Sean's wife. Freddie Deeb playing patiently there. Takes down a nice pot. Extends his chip lead.
What do you have, Sean? You'll see it on TV.
We are just getting started here at the Festa El Lago. Things are heating up.
I've played with Freddie Deeb before, and I know he's aggressive, but that's what it takes to win these.
And once again, we see the poker instincts of Freddie Deeb coming to fruition for him. Seemingly, he knows when to call and when to bet, Vince.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, they call him Fast Freddy, I think.
You get me all excited and then you pass.
Freddy's extremely entertaining to play with.
Hey, boys, what's the advice now?
So I wish I could play with Freddy every day of my life, to be honest.
The only person that scares me is me. 350.
How much?
350. I always make mistakes, man.
It's a 9.
Every time it's a
So
spot.
that's going to do it for WPT champ Freddie Deeb.
We have a saying in the Middle East. It says, if you say I never make a mistake, it's the first mistake you make.
A lot of double talk there from the great Freddie Deeb. Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We're at the Festa El Lago, and right now, Freddie Deeb is our chip leader.
Yeah, he says he makes a lot of mistakes, but he's in command this week, no doubt about it. Freddie going for his 3rd WPT title tonight. That would tie him with Gus Hansen as the winningest player in the history of the World Poker Tour.
Now let's go to the felt. Action on Craig Crivillo. Sort of a poor man's George Clooney, if you ask me. Used to be an iron worker out of Milwaukee, and he quickly folds his hand, as does Freddie Deeb.
Well, the youngster, Jason Burt, now looks down at the 5-6 of clubs. He throws it away.
Sean Koenig's the only amateur player at the table, so-called, goes out as well. And now Tommy Vitas from Queens, New York, with an ace-3 of diamonds. He's going to bump it up.
Oh, 3 is.
Jason Lavalley with Jack-10 of clubs.
And he's got them suited connectors you want to see flops with. Looks like he's contemplating whether he should call or raise here.
Young kid, 23 years old, an online professional out of Montreal, is going to make the call. Here's Jason's friends.
Comes a flop. Wow, what a flop for Jason. It's come Queen 10-9 with 2 clubs. He's got a pair and an open-end straight flush draw. And Tommy is reaching for chips. Remember, he's from Queens. He understands that usually the guy that gets the first blow in a fight wins the fight. So he's going to try to get a blow in here with the continuation bet, but it's not going to work.
He could get blown right out of this. 440,000 he's bet into the kid.
Come on.
Jason Lavalley says all in.
Well, you can't blame him, Vince. Everybody's going all in with that hand. Doesn't matter what your opponent has. You've got outs to win the pot when you flop an open and straight flush draw. So Tommy is just posturing here right now. 0 chance he's going to make this call. His buddy, Michael the Grinder Mizrachi, watching him play here. The Grinder, a 2-time WPT champ himself. Right now, a little disappointed his buddy goes out, but he'd be grateful if he saw their hands.
That is just too much heat by Jason Lavalley, online pro. But you know what? If they had to cast him in the movie, he could actually look like he was right straight from the farm. Works the farm, has a little hayseed in his hair, if you ask me.
Yeah, it looks like you could put him on the tractor there, Vince. He actually worked at McDonald's for 3 months.
He did, didn't he?
Said he made $1 million last year playing poker, so looks like poker's a little better than flipping burgers.
All right, back down to the felt. Another young guy, Jason Burt out of Newport Beach, California, 22 years old. He quickly folds his hand. Sean Kunix also going away.
Well, Tommy Vitas lays his hand down here.
Back to Lavallee.
And he's on the button. He looks down at King, Queen of Diamonds. Nice hand on the button.
Yeah, quality hand. Looks around to see who he has to compete against.
I actually like that. He looks at his opponents first before he makes the size of his bet. He just doubles the bet, makes the minimum raise up to $160,000.
Craig Cravillo folding. So the only one to beat is Freddie Deep. Now he's in the big blind already. He's got a miserable looking 5-3.
Well, Freddie's what we call a defender in the trade, meaning if he's got a blind out there, he likes to defend it, as you're seeing right here. Him and Gus Hansen are big defenders of the blind. Hard to push him around.
If I win this pot, I want to still go to the barbecue, though. Remember that.
All right, here's the flop. And look at this. Huge there for Lavallee. 3 of a kind.
Check.
Well, Freddie's flopped a pair also.
Yeah.
He's checked. Jason has bet $250,000.
He sure has, but Freddie coming back over the top to make it $500,000, trying to find out where he is.
Well, I like this raise by Freddie Deeb. I say I like it because you can find out where you are. If your opponent had ace-jack or ace-10, something like that, he's probably going to lay it down now when you raise him back. If the guy makes this call, Freddie can tread a little more lightly the rest of the way. And obviously, we know Jason's at least going to call, if not re-raise, and he does make the call.
How's that treading now, Mike?
Well, let's see what happens.
All right, going to the turn.
Now, 6 of spade comes off. My guess is neither player is going to like this card. They'll be fearful their opponent made a flush. So Freddie's going to check. I would think Jason would be a little leery of that spade himself. Remember, Freddie check raised him on the flop, but these youngsters have no fear, Vince.
No, that's not what they taught him at McDonald's. He's going to bet it. It looks like $650,000.
Oh boy. No special for Freddie. $650,000 to him.
How's that special sauce there for you, Freddie?
Well, I think it's an easy getaway for Freddie now. Whatever his opponent had, whether he had a king in his hand, an overpair, 2 spades, whatever he had, he's got Freddie beat now.
Get out. No parting gifts for you, Fred.
He's got left.
Oh, he says, how much you got? He wants to talk a little bit.
Well, Freddie does have a spade draw. He could win the pot if a spade came off, but
that's about right.
That would be a disaster for the tractor kid.
I think Freddie's just posturing here. He likes to talk a lot at the table, likes to get his opponents to talk, and he does lay the hand down. So the youngster, Jason Lavallee, taking down another pot. Now, Freddie might have saved money by making that minimum raise on the flop, even though it seemed a little startling that he would raise when the guy had 3 kings, but he doesn't know he's got 3 kings. So if you raise it there, if the guy has nothing, maybe he's even got an overpair, he might get away from the hand and let you have it.
All right, right back at him. Jason Lavallee now in second chip position with $3.3 million. And action goes right to him.
Oh, and look at this, Vince. The kid not only plays good, he's a card rack.
Pair of aces.
Unbelievable. He just flopped 3 kings. Very next hand, he picks up 2 aces.
All right, he's raised it to 205. Quick folds around to Jason Burt. Jason's got ace-10 here in a decision.
Well, it is a big decision here. It's a pretty good hand. He knows the youngster raised under the gun, as we say, so usually you give a guy credit for a stronger hand here, but that's quite a laydown by Jason Burt there.
Yeah, he's going to muck. Sean Kunix also going away. So now Tommy Vitas in the big blind, already invested.
Well, the raise was only to $205,000. So $355,000 in the pot, going to cost him $135,000 more to make the call if he wants to gamble here.
And he has done it. So two-way action. You got 10-8 up against a pair of aces. The dramatic hand. Here comes the first 3.
Well, Tommy has flopped an open-end straight draw as it comes Jack 9-6.
Not too bad. He checks it.
7 or queen would give him a straight.
And what is the young man from Montreal going to do now? Got your aces. Only his second WPT tournament and his second cash, of course, and he's going to bet it.
Yep, he bets $280,000 and quickly called by